All right. We're in Judith, the 13th chapter. And Holofernes is drunk. And Judith's getting ready to bring forth her action of what she asked the Most High to bring forth. So we look at Judith 13, verse 5. It says, "For now is the time to help thine inheritance, and to execute mine enterprise to the destruction of the enemies which are risen against us." Then she came to the pillar of the bed. Holofernes laying in the bed drunk, which was at Holofernes' head, and took down his fashion from thence. Took down, like you have like a canopy over the bed, took down the cloth from amongst the bed at his head, and approached to his bed, and took hold of the hair of his head. She took hold of the hair of his head and said, "Strengthen me, O Most High Power of Israel, this day." And she smote twice upon his neck with all her might, and she took away his head from him. She cut off his head, hit him twice, boom, boom, and cut his head off, and took away his head from him, and tumbled his body down from the bed, pushed his body off the bed, and pulled down the canopy from the pillars. And Anna, after she went forth, and gave Holofernes his head to her maid. She gave Holofernes' head to her maid, and she put it in her bag of meat. So they twain went together according to their custom unto prayer. They did this and went unto prayer with Holofernes' head in the bag with the meat. And when they passed the camp, they compassed the valley and went up the mountain of Bethulia and came to the gates thereof. Then said Judith afar off to the watchmen at the gate, "Open, open now the gate. The Most High, even our power, is with us to show his power yet in Jerusalem, and his forces against the enemy, as he had even done this day." Cut Holofernes' head off, put it in the bag of meat. Now when the men of her city heard her voice, they made haste to go down to the gate of their city. And they called the elders of the city. And then they ran all together, both small and great. For it was strange unto them that she was come. So they opened the gate and received them, and made a fire for a light, and stood round about them. Then she said to them with a loud voice, "Praise, praise the Most High. Praise the Most High, I say, for he hath not taken away his mercy from the house of Israel, but hath destroyed our enemies by mine hands this night." So she took the head out of the bag and showed it, and said unto them, "Behold the head of Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Ashur, the Assyrians, and behold the canopy wherein he did lie in his drunkenness. And the Most High hath smitten him by the hand of a woman. As the Most High liveth, who have kept me in my way that I went, my countenance have deceived him to his destruction, and yet hath he not committed sin with me to defile and shame me," meaning he didn't lay with her, "to defile and shame her." And all the people were wonderfully astonished, and bowed themselves and worshipped the Most High, and said with one accord, "Blessed be thou, O Most High Power, which have this day brought into naught the enemies of thy people." Then said Osiris unto her, "O daughter, blessed art thou of the Most High Power above all the women upon the earth, and blessed be the Most High Power, which have created the heavens and the earth, which have directed thee to the cutting off of the head of the chief of our enemies, But this thy countenance shall not depart from the heart of men, which remember the power of the Most High forever. And the Most High turn these things to thee for a perpetual praise, to visit thee in good things, because thou hast not spared thy life for the affliction of our nation, but hast revenged our ruin, walking a straight way before our power. And all the people said, so be it, so be it. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on. That's powerful. That's a powerful sister right there. Then said Judith unto them, hear me now, my brethren, and take his head, this Holofernes' head, the chief of the army of the Assyrians, and hang it upon the highest place of your walls. And so soon as the morning shall appear, and the sun shall come forth upon the earth, take ye every one his weapons, and go forth every valiant man, every man of war out of the city, and set ye a captain over them, as though ye would go down into the field toward the watch of the Syrians, but go not down. Then they shall take their armor, and shall go into their camp, and raise up the captains of the army of Ashur, and they shall run to the tent of Holofernes, but shall not find him. Then fear shall fall upon them, and they shall flee before your face. So ye and all that inhabit the coast of Israel shall pursue them and overthrow them as they go. But before ye do these things, call me Achor the Ammonite, that he may see and know him that despised the house of Israel, and that sent him to us, as it were to his death. Then they called Achor out of the house of Osias. And when he was come and saw the head of Holofernes in a man's hand, in the assembly of the people, he fell down on his face, and his spirit fell. But when they had recovered him, he fell at Judith's feet and reverenced her, crying to her, and said, blessed art thou in all the tabernacle of Judah, and in all nations, which hearing thy name shall be astonished. Now therefore tell me all the things that thou hast done in these days. Then Judith declared unto him in the midst of the people all that she had done, from the day that she went forth until that hour she spake unto them. And when they had left off speaking, the people shouted with a loud voice, and made a joyful noise in their city. And when Achor had seen all that the power of Israel had done, he believed in the Most High greatly, and circumcised the flesh of his foreskin, and was joined unto the house of Israel unto this day. And as soon as the morning rose, they hanged the head of Holofernes upon the wall, and every man took his weapons. And they went forth by bands, that's armies, unto the straits of the mountain. But when the Assyrians saw them, they sent to their leaders, which came to their captains and tribunes, and to every one of their rulers. So they came to Holofernes' tent, and said to him that had the charge of all his things, waken now our master, for the slaves have been bold to come down. See, they call them slaves, have been bold to come down against us to battle, that they may be utterly destroyed. Then went in Boaz and knocked at the door of the tent, for he thought that he had slept with Judith. But because none answered, he opened it and went into the bedchamber, and found him cast upon the floor dead, and his head was taken from him. Remember, she threw his body on the floor, took his head, put it in the bag, and just put it on the highest wall in Jerusalem, in the hill country in Bethlehem. Therefore he cried with a loud voice, with weeping and sighing and mightily cry, a mighty cry, and rent his garment. After he went into the tent where Judith lodged, and when he found her not, he leaped out to the people and said, these slaves have dealt treacherously. One woman of the Hebrews had brought shame upon the house of King Nesher-Dinosaur. For behold, Holofernes lieth upon the ground without a head. When the captains of the Assyrians' army heard these words, they rent their coats, and their minds were wonderfully troubled. And there was a cry and a very great noise throughout the camp. So we took them down. They went to flight. I just wanted to bring that because I thought, you continue to read in verse chapter 15, 16, about Judith, this great and powerful woman, and how she risked her life for our nation, because he didn't have to accept her as such. But her beauty and her ability to go in there and bring forth the victory over Holofernes as such gave us the victory through the power of the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Shalom, Shalom. And I'm out. Shalom.